Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities there may be today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. So starting off here on the daily as usual. What's the daily showing us? Yesterday we had a bullish day, massive bullish engulfing, right, as you can see, and today we've started off bullish, but as you'll notice, let me zoom in slightly, we have taken out our previous weekly high. So good news in my opinion that we was bullish. It looks more like structure, especially maybe on a lower time frame, may have a better direction now, right? We'll see once we go down there. But also we have this previous high from August on the daily just above. Now I've identified that as the high of the current bullish leg we're working in, and it may indicate that we're going to take out that high. So we may actually get a higher high, which gives us a better sense of direction, but also importantly, as I've drawn out here, it's a good source of buy side liquidity. So that may introduce a pullback, or in general if we close above it, it's going to look like, okay, we're still continuing our bullish structure. So either way it's helpful, but I do like the fact that it could be a powerful source of buy side liquidity, as is this previous weekly high, which at the moment obviously on this daily candle looks like a sweep, so it may be causing some sort of retreat right now, using this buy side liquidity to possibly pull back, right, to seek out sell side liquidity. So we'll see how that goes, but I do like how price has been moving, and because we've spiked up into this new high, we may have a more bullish lower time frame structure. So I'll move with liquidity. We've taken out previous weekly high, right, we've taken plenty of buy side liquidity already today, but there's a good source of buy side liquidity above which we may be drawn toward. Also on DXY, we've now closed with that bearish engulfing below these wicks, below these lows, so it gives us a bit more of that intention for DXY to head lower, I would say, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean today, but in general now our structure is giving that lower low, right, which we've been waiting for. We of course still have that higher time frame divergence intact for now, right, because of this low to lower low and high to lower high, because that high is still lower. So we may see some short-term bearish price, or price may just blow through it and break that divergence. But anyway, I think that's enough for the daily. Everything's looking a bit better today. Let's go down to the 4 hour, see what that's showing us. Now, as I said on the daily, the structure has improved, I would say, on the lower time frame now. So on this 4 hour time frame, as we was making those lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, we met that daily imbalance in order block there, had our SMC divergence, and we started moving higher, right? So I wasn't quite sure what to do with these news wicks here in terms of structure, right? Because as I read yesterday, I thought, okay, we didn't go on to make that higher high above this wick. This could mean that previous weekly low is going to be a lower low. In fact, the market found support here and has gone on to make a higher high. So that's good. That structure's kind of cleared up now, right? And it looks like we may now continue on our way to make bullish price action. Right, so the structure has sort of returned to bullish on the 4 hour, and we have our new leg from this low or this low to this high. Okay, we have this buy side liquidity, as I said, just floating above. It would be a good point to take out, in my opinion, though we have also introduced some SMC again into the market on these lower time frames from this high to this higher high, where on DXY we have this low to this higher low. Right, at the moment DXY has refused to make that lower low, right? So a bit of a break in the correlation, which may signal strength on DXY, at least in the short term, to pull back. It may pull back up towards here, this imbalance, this order block, right, where it broke down from. So it could just indicate a pullback to then continue the trend. And as I was saying on the EU, it's good now. We've got more of a clear structure with higher low, higher high coming into the market, and DXY has sort of done the same in that sense of we had this tight range here, which I said probably going to indicate some sort of breakout. We now had good bearish momentum breaking below this low. We still need to break this low. As I said, there's SMC divergence at the moment, but it looks a lot more clearer, right? We've closed below this low back here. It's not just wicking into that price action for sell side liquidity, right? So things look good, structure looks a bit more bearish, and it gives us a better direction, in my opinion. So we may pull back. The SMC divergence may be indicating that we've taken out the previous weekly high for buy side liquidity, but there is a good source of buy side liquidity above, right? So if we take that out and we still don't take out this previous weekly low, but even if we do, that's a good source of sell side liquidity and buy side liquidity that may motivate and give the liquidity needed for a better pullback to maybe the discount here. So if we use the leg here, right, we have an order block, we have an imbalance here, and then we have this low to this high, we may pull back toward this discount here. So I think everything's a lot more clearer. Things are looking a bit better for me. But for the time being, I think the bias that I'm going to have for today is still shorts, just because we've taken this buy side liquidity, SMC, especially if we take this buy side liquidity above this high. I would like to see a breakdown, pull back short, because I don't want to go long from a premium. So I hope that was clear. Let me know in the comments if you need any clarification. Let's go down to the 1 hour, see what that shows us. Right, so on to this 1 hour chart now. As I said, the structure now is a lot more clearer in my opinion. We had those news wicks, which I wasn't sure, but I've measured those as the leg. I was seeing that possible previous weekly low, but we mitigated this 1 hour area here, which gave us that support, right? Order block, imbalance, and price did then create a foothold and create that high, right? So measuring it from here to here, we have our discount and our premium. I don't need to put those on the charts, but just to show for this demonstration, we have our SMC divergence and we have the buy side liquidity resting above. So not much different from the 4 hour, but it's just very clear now that the 1 hour also has that bullish structure, right? With this high, low, high. DXY same, took some buy side liquidity above these internal highs here. We've broken below these lows here, and we've got our divergence indicating some sort of strength. So price may break down. Like I said, I'm favoring shorts from looking at the hourly as well, just from using the buy side liquidity and our divergence. I would prefer if we take out this buy side liquidity above here, right? And it also means we sweep our internal buy side liquidity as well from this high we made. Right, so all of that would just give that extra juice to possibly give us a pullback and a good breakdown towards our discount here. All right, we have a nice 1 hour POI down here on its own in the extreme discount. It may not come down this far, but I think this is the clearest POI in my opinion. It also has a little inducement right above it, which I think is great. So I would like to see that met if we do start to break down, and we could look for longs around this point here. So everything's aligned for me. I think the shorts are a good move, right? Counter trend to, right, the structure we're making, but there is some good confluence to continue in that way. Even better confluence if we take out this high here. With that in mind, let's go down to the M15 now, see what opportunities may look like for this morning. So nothing right now at the moment to get into here on the M15, but what I do like, so we have our Asia session kill zone range here. We've opened in London now, but I do still see this as a sort of range. Okay, price hasn't broken down yet. Now, as I discussed, my preference would be for price to come up to this point, whether correctively or not, and take out this buy side liquidity, also sweeping the buy side liquidity from Asia session highs and then break down, right? And then we have our pullback to an order block we've left behind with an imbalance, right, from where the momentum entered the market from taking the buy side liquidity to then go short from. So if I draw this out, we would have a break of structure around here, right? Buy side liquidity taken above this high and this internal high here, pullback possibly creating inducement for our order block. And just to explain again, inducement here would just signal buy side liquidity below our limit order, right? Our limit order at this order block, where it would be mitigated to again add more liquidity sponsorship to our order, and just targeting towards a discount, targeting short towards wherever our strategy says. Mine would be 3%. So stop loss just above the high, entry just below or at the order block, right? And then heading towards this discount. So that's what my strategy looks like, and that's what I would love to see this morning. Now, of course, this may happen lower down. Like, I don't know what price is going to do, of course, but some sort of momentum may enter the market. I don't know. We may refuse to go up and take this high or come and take this. If there is enough momentum that I see, right, that creates some sort of imbalance like this, and maybe even comes up and just sweeps its internal high here, right, if I just move this up slightly, maybe it'll sweep this London Open here, or we'll create some sort of range here and get some internal sweep and then break down. I may consider entering the market as well. My preference is up here, but we may get a strong breakdown suddenly for whatever reason after taking some internal buy side. But it does look like price isn't making lower prices just yet. Right, we probably might come up for some buy side liquidity, whether it be just above this current London high or Asia high, and then we may break down. So yeah, that's what I like about this range, because when you build these ranges, it builds liquidity on both sides as well, right? And it will take from one side and then probably break down with strength, showing you its intention. So that's everything. I think the market looks much better this morning. I hope that was clear. I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.